Okay, rotations. Rotations are a little bit more difficult than reflections and translations. Okay, rotations are a turn. Okay, you turn them about a point called the center of rotation. So this is turning 75 degrees around point P. Okay, so when you turn that, I'm going to grab a piece of paper to help me out here. So point P is here, and then we have my triangle X, Y, Z, X, Y, Z, okay? Now, when I rotate around my point, my triangle turns around the point like this. So if I go 75 degrees, you make a 75-degree angle between where X was and where X will be, okay? Which then puts Y right here, which I flip like that. There's Y, and then I flip like that, and there's Z. Here's Y prime, Z prime, X prime. And it's not perfect, but it goes from here around to here, okay? Rotation. Now, important. Positive is counterclockwise, okay? And now anymore with all the digital clocks, you guys don't even know how to tell time on a clock like that anymore, some of you, okay? Hopefully all of you do. You learned that. But clockwise, the clock hands go around like this. This is clockwise. So counterclockwise is this. So we rotate this direction, it's negative. If we rotate this direction, it's positive. Okay? So you need to know the positive from the negative. So rotations, here you go. There's your definition. Is a transformation that rotates each point of the pre-image around a point P called the center rotation by the angle measure of X called the angle of rotation. Okay, so go from there to there. Long definition. Okay, so when this is rotated here, the X, the number of degrees, is the angle of rotation. P is the center of rotation. Okay? So, the center rotation, angle rotation. Those are important concepts here. Okay, so this is what goes on your note card. Okay? If you have a 90-degree rotation of 90 degrees, xy goes to negative yx. So these things all go on your note card. A rotation of 180 is this. A rotation 270 goes this. Okay, write those down on your note card. Those three lines. Okay, 0, 0 is our center rotation. And here's our point at 1, 2. If I rotate it 90 degrees, see how the paper is straight up and down right now? If I rotate it 90 degrees, it'll be right there. Where will the new point be? Negative 2, because each square is a half here. So negative 2, 1. Okay? So 1, 2 became, you take this, negative 2, and this, 1. Negative 2, 1. See how that rotates? From 1, 2 to negative 2, 1. Okay? That's a 90-degree rotation. A 180-degree rotation goes from 1, 2 to negative 1, negative 2. How does that work? Well, let's look at this. We're here. 90 is there. 180, the paper should be facing right there. Negative 1, negative 2. A 270-degree rotation rotates it so the paper is there. What number is that? Well, it's positive 2, negative 1. How do we get that from here? Well, we started at 1, 2, so it's positive 2, negative 1. Okay? So having that on your note card is important. Okay? So you know which letter variable goes where and so on. All right. So if we rotated this 90 degrees around our origin, 90 degrees around our origin, what is A's original ordered pair? 3 what? 3, 5. What's B's original ordered pair? 1, 7. What's C's original ordered pair? Negative 2, 4. D's original ordered pair? 2, negative 1. Okay, so A prime, if you rotate it 90 degrees, you're going to switch the 5 and the 3 around. And which one becomes negative according to your the y? So then it becomes negative 5, 3. Okay? B prime. You switch the 1 and the 7 around, and which one becomes negative? The 7. C prime. switch them around, 4, -2, and the 4 becomes negative. And D prime, switch them around, -1, 2, negative, and then the -1 becomes positive because you do the opposite sign. So 1, 2. That's what a 90-degree rotate. Oop, that's not A. That's D prime, A prime, B prime, C prime. That's what a 90-degree rotation will look like. So it'll be important to understand the ordered pairs. A right now is at -2, 4. What's the A? Where will A prime be? 2, -4. You just use the opposite signs of each. Just use the opposite signs of each. Okay? What would a 180-degree rotation of G be? Because right now G is at 2, -3. Where would G end up? -2, +3. -2, +3. That's 180 degrees across, straight through the origin. All right. The first drummer in a drum line is at the 20-yard line, and the sixth drummer is at the 35-yard line. Okay? So the first drummer is at the 20-yard line, and then the sixth drummer is at the 35-yard line, A to B here. But this should be A and this should be B, whatever. Okay. The drum line is going to rotate 180 degrees around the sixth drummer, around A, and then it's going to rotate 135 degrees around the first drummer. Where does the sixth drummer stand after the rotations? Okay. Well, first there's 180 degree here. This is the sixth drummer. Does he move after the first rotation? No, he's in the same spot. Okay. And then he'll go 135 degrees around B. And it's actually a negative, because that's clockwise, right? So it's a negative. So our composition of transformations would be this. The first one would be, and use lowercase r's for rotations, capital R's for reflections. So it's a rotation of 180 degrees around point A first. And that's a composition of transformations with a negative 135 degrees around B prime. That's how you'd write it. Okay? You have to know how to write them. Okay. In a dance, a line of dancers rotates 60 degrees first. So they're here. Then they're going to rotate around E 60 degrees this way. And then 60 degrees counterclockwise around C. What's the final position of dancer A? Well, the first rotation is clockwise, right? A clockwise rotation is a negative 60. Around what point? E. Around this point. And then they're going to rotate positive 60 degrees because it's counterclockwise around what point? C prime. Okay. So, a rotation is the same as reflecting around two lines that cross at the point of rotation. Okay? So, if you have two reflection lines cross at the point of rotation, reflect and reflect, what happens is the new point will be half the angle of the difference of, well, if you go this far and then you go this far, if you reflect here and then you reflect here, that angle will be twice the amount of the angle in between the angles of rotation. Okay. I'm going to skip over that. So let's see how you do on this second one. So how far you went around 2 reflections. Again, that'll be on your homework. That won't be on a quiz or a test. Next time we'll take 2 quizzes. So on Wednesday we'll take 2 quizzes, and then we'll still do 2 sections on Wednesday. So we've got a lot to do on Wednesday. So be ready to roll when you come in on Wednesday, because we'll take 2 quick quizzes. We'll do a section, then we'll come back after lunch and do another section. So a lot going on Wednesday. Because Wednesday's the last time we have class in here this week. Because Friday is a B day. Friday will be B